Thank
We
you,
letting it. We allowed it. And now look.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Michelle Kitchen.
Next speaker, but y'all suck. Y'all suck. Where's British? Where's British? Nobody knows that, right? 3 4 years later, what are you gonna do? Repart when you little pussy ass and your mustache?
Yo.
But you suck too. What
Uh,
happened?
yes,
Yo.
respectfully, you're not on the list. Allow the next speaker. Madam Clerk. Next speaker, Madam
Oh
Clerk.
shit.
Please announce your name and address.
Yeah.
Ne- uh, next, next, go ahead. Next speaker, Madam Clerk. Name and address for the record.
Michelle Kitchen. Go ahead. Please state your name.
Good evening. How we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, just speak close to the mic.
All right. My name is Michelle Kitchen. I had to write this. I'm writing this down because I wrote this down because it's very emotional. So I'm trying not to be emotional today. So I'm here as a concerned resident and taxpayer of Paterson to express my deep frustration and fear following a recent emergency in which my home was broken into on Saturday, May 10th, while my sister was inside. I called 911 immediately and explained that the break-in was happening in real time. I'm literally watching it on my Ring. And despite the urgency, it took over 3+ hours for the police to arrive. This delay made me feel helpless and my sister unprotected. The officer who eventually responded explained that calls are prioritized. But how can an active break-in not be urgent? This experience left me and my family feeling like my safety and our lives did not matter. My question is, if it's one emergency, one place, do the whole police office team go to that one site? Which we know it doesn't because we saw a police officer riding past the next block. So I know that's not the case. This is totally unacceptable. I understand that there may be challenges in staffing or even funding, but the residents of Paterson deserve timely protection and a peace of mind. We need transparency and accountability. And most important, we need solutions. Is the pay an issue? Is it the training that's an issue? Is the staffing level an issue? Or just the mismanagement of the resources? I urge you to take this seriously and address what is clearly a crisis in public safety. Please do better for me, for my family, and for every resident who simply wants to feel safe in their own home. I'm to the point where I cannot sleep at night because I am literally watching a camera. And I gotta get up the next day to go to school to teach my children that I can't because I am tired. This is unacceptable. And you guys have to do better. I'm calling my council people, my council at large, council people from other areas, because we needed somebody to just come. My sister had to go to a neighbor's house just to hide. We should be able to feel safe in our own home.
This is crazy.
And thank you for just listening. But please, please, please come up with some solutions better than what we have. This is just unfair. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Joe Keys.
Joe Keys, Paterson. The accountability challenge. Due to my role in the incident at the last meeting regarding Councilman Velez, I'm going to introduce a teaching practice I use in my classes, the accountability challenge. My students and I take it whenever an incident results in a problem. The accountability challenge detects whether or not there are severe ego defense mechanism issues or flaws in the belief system. The ego defends everything in our belief system, especially the flaws. The accountability challenge consists of 2 questions. How has the system contributed to the problem? And how have I contributed to the problem? The system and everyone involved will always contribute to every problem. And that is why we refer to the second question as the question of the highest integrity. It requires integrity to ask and correctly answer, how have I contributed to the problem? This question of the highest integrity engenders the practice of self-reflection or self-critique. Once the person becomes receptive to self-criticism, it will prepare them to be receptive to criticism from others. The outcome produces an individual with integrity who is receptive to criticism, has emotional maturity, and takes accountability for their actions. During the final weeks of his life, my deceased comrade Dana Mahan asked me how many times I could rationalize and justify breaking decorum and embarrassing myself. Doug Noble is Councilman Jackson's cousin and one of my surrogate brothers. Councilman Jackson and I dissuade him from attending the meetings because although he is a peace-loving, wonderful human being, he has a greater propensity to engage in combat than me and Councilman Jackson. He watched the video and said, if I behave like that, he might as well attend the meetings because I behave the way we anticipated he would. He said, you're not helping Mike if you act like that, and you already know this. He concluded by saying, we don't expect you to behave like this because that is not you anymore. You have overcome too much and come too far and now have too much to lose. Jim Piscatano is a longtime friend who doesn't hesitate to tell me that I'm a valued mentor and even an idol of his. He texted me and said, you cursed at him? Damn, that is unlike you in that type of setting. The point of presenting the testimonies of Dana, Doug, and Jim is to show the benefits of taking the accountability challenge, which is becoming receptive to self-criticism and then receptive to criticism from others. In conclusion, as a result of taking the accountability challenge, I apologize to the entire council for breaking decorum again, and especially for yelling out curse words. I vow to never do that again. Lastly, there's a petition going around stating Velez must go. Inquire about it, find it, and sign it. Thank you.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Kenyatta Stewart.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Anna Martinez.
Hello,
Good evening.
Ana Martinez, 5th Ward. In the story of Ezekiel and the Valley of Bones, God chose Ezekiel's leadership to give breath of life and spirit in the bodies of bones, initiating the process of restoration and transformation. Paterson, I believe in leadership with a cause and with a soul. Enlightened leaders are advocates from listening and activists from problem solving, and they are chosen to lead the community to progress and transformation. As citizens of Paterson, the restoration and transformation progresses with each one of us, and each of our body, heart, spirit, and soul matters. We are significant bodies with souls, but our spirits are yet to be fully restored and transformed in this city. Although this city has few good-hearted, humble, and generous leaders, they are overshadowed by self-proclaimed, overrated, and fame-driven leaders. We're surrounded by egoistic leaders, which makes us deceived, confused, hurt, and angry. Paterson, leadership is not just the mayor.
And these.
It is every city officials who are representing us as a community. It is our behind-the-scene community leaders. And it is the home, school, and business leaders.
No, I'm okay.
It is fair to mention that our present mayor, as the face of the city, with supportive exemplary leadership, has managed to highlight and support somewhat cultures, education, and progress through the turmoil we live in Paterson. His energy is duly noted, and his leadership has mostly been upbeat and professional under pressure. With a diplomatic spirit, unlike other city officials and community leaders. Patersonians seek significant leadership that does not promise, yet delivers with time and space for the community to thrive and shine. Believe in a leader with a calling that brings out the good and the best in us. A leader that acknowledges our 52 cultures and support our creative, healing, and transforming minds and spirit.
Thank you.
One,
Please wrap it
believe
up.
in a chosen leader who walks among us and recognizes we matter. By grace of God, our Valley of Bones, restored and transformed and led by a visionary leader, will bring the city of Paterson to its renaissance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Marquise.
Next speaker.
Marquise, thank you.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is, hold on one second, Kenyatta Stewart. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Oh.
Good evening. Good evening,
Please state
Council.
your
How
name.
you doing?
Good evening.
Council President, good to see you all. Always a pleasure. Thank you for the consideration. Just coming from outside, doing a little campaigning, as you can see, with my rain jacket on. You know, I just wanted to first come to greet you all. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's all right. I understand. I get it. Also wanted to come to greet you all, say hello, and recognize that, ladies,
Shh.
ladies.
Members of the public, let's be respectful. Let's be respectful. Oh, you got it.
Hey, wow.
Just a minute. Just-
Oh.
Officer, please, please,
Hey, wow.
please, please. Officer, just Rafael. Just officer,
I should have been in the building with the camera.
officer, they have to be removed. Officer, o- officer, but they both have to be removed. Oops. Officer? Ca- s- Ma- eh, Can we continue with the meeting, officer? Please. We hear you. Mr. Kenyatta, so Madam Clerk, can you just start the clock again for just a minute?
I'm waiting for him to get to the mic. So.
Go ahead, Mr. Kenyatta. Good evening.
Sure, thank you.
Welcome to the Great City Council Chamber.
No, I mean, it's just, listen, I don't call it crazy. I just call it people with passion.
Great.
You know,
Say
folks,
great.
folks are just upset, frustrated, looking for answers. You know, and they come here for answers, even if this isn't the place to get the resolution. So, you know, I'm glad you all are at least patient enough to, you know, deal with some of the stuff that happens here. But I wouldn't refer to it as crazy.
I say great to our Great City Council.
Okay.
I'll say
okay.
great.
Appreciate it. So I also want you all to realize that, you know, folks in the community are, you know, a little passionate about things that's going on because it's touching our families. You know, as you know, there's a little activity outside. Unfortunately, you know, folks are
I'm sorry.
you know, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just, when I hear activity, I'm trying to stop it.
We apologize.
That's all good, man. I understand. As I said, though, you know, many people are just, you know, going through it. They see, you know, activity happen, getting closer and closer to home, and you know, they're looking for answers. They're looking for some type of solution. You know, unfortunately, many of us spend a lot of time worrying about what's wrong as opposed to putting together something that's right.
That's true.
You know, I'm not gonna, you know,
Sterling and Anthony Davis.
I'm not gonna win or lose my campaign on the city council steps because this ain't the place for that. But I'm just gonna ask you all to have, you know, some grace with these folks. You know, folks are going through it. You know, and unfortunately, they don't know how to react. And you know, when you get upset, you react a certain way. And then sometimes you look back and you say, I made a, you know, mistake on TV. You know, I will tell you though that the community is watching us, and they want to know what we're going to do as a people. I'm going to ask you all, if possible, to create some type of committee, and yes, work on some mental health, you know, solutions for folks, because unfortunately, you know, sometimes I'm at my red end too. So sometimes I'm ready to go overboard. Finally, this is just my message for the young guys outside. We got to stop. That's what it comes down to. We just got to stop. I'm going to spend the next few weeks campaigning in a different way, because I just think that it's, you know, partially my fault and men from the community's fault that some of these young boys are losing touch. So it's our responsibility to go back into the community and make sure that they understand that they can be loved and they don't have to make the type of mistakes that they're making. So I'm gonna go try to find that kid's mom and see if I can turn them in. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenyatta. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes. The next speaker is Sebastian Mejia.
Come on, Mejia.
Is he here? Stop telling me what to do.
Kenyatta Stewart for the New Jersey State Assembly. Make no mistake about it. While we're waiting for Brother Mejia to come up here, but I regret not to announce that bullet voting.
Good evening.
It's important.
Go ahead.
Council, good evening. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. There's a lot of things going on. I'll be mindful of the time. Firstly, I would like to start off by thanking Councilwoman Dr. Mims for giving our boys basketball team their championship jackets. Thank you for always being there and supporting. So Paterson is at a turning point. We have a decision to make. We're in a time of crisis, and it's either gonna go left or it's gonna go right. The ball is in the court of the people, the members of this council as well. We have a mayor that instead of facing the community and issues of crisis and times of crisis, he chooses to have a town hall on Zoom. And that town hall served as a political showcase of a candidate for assembly that was a councilman that always wanted the meetings to be on Zoom. And on top of that, he was late to every single council meeting that I saw him at. That's why, even though I'm a conservative, I'm asking my friends on the other side of the aisle to support Kenyatta Stewart for assembly. And as a conservative, I will be supporting Frank Filippelli for Senate. Because we're tired of seeing the same faces in the same spaces, okay? So, and I have to address my councilman, and someone that, although we were competitors, and I do see you in a sense of my competition, you are still the leader of the ward that I reside in, and you still represent the people that I love, and I also represent in my own way. You know, as a member of an advisory committee with our officer in charge, I've had the opportunity to help build trust once again between the Paterson Police Department and the community. And I would hate to see all the work that we put in go down the drain because protocol was not followed accordingly at a traffic stop in which people were injured. I'm not here to relish in a time of reckoning for my councilman, because I genuinely care about him and the well-being of him and the residents of my ward. But I do genuinely, from my heart, Louis, if you committed the acts that you are being accused of, to face the music with honor and do what needs to be done, and if it is true, to seek help, because there is a lot of programs and things that you can do, and to just become a better person at the end of this. You know, and again, I'm not here to gloat. And if you think you can't do that, then you should step down and someone else should step up. Thank you.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Billy Prempeh.
Greetings, Council. Greetings, City of Paterson.
Good evening.
Billy Prempeh, congressional candidate for the 9th District, Republican Party. I've heard the word accountability come up multiple times today, and I wanted to kind of start with telling you guys something that's always stuck in the back of my mind from the time I was in boot camp up until now. One of the things they told us was that the weakest person in your flight is only as strongest as the weakest leader in your team. And the truth is, the leadership from the top all the way down has been subpar. I've heard people complaining about violence in our community, trash in our streets, a lack of recreation for our youth, and something that I found very interesting, Councilman Velez, I don't mean to beat you up, but I can't reach out to you on social media. You blocked me. You don't like the accountability. But you wrote a letter to Alina Habba not too long ago requesting that she looks into our city because there's a lot of nonsense going on in our city. We've got a council president that's been accused or indicted again for voter fraud, and we still don't know the facts, but I will tell you this, you're living up to it. You're trying to state your case. If you're an innocent man, you're an innocent man. But at the same time, this council is requiring decorum. They're requiring respect. And at the last council meeting, I don't believe you carried yourself with any respect, not just for our council members, but for the members of our public as well, too. To make matters worse, you have no idea the amount of people from within the city of Paterson and all across the 9th District that have sent me the video, multiple videos, of what happened about 2 days ago when you were behind the wheel. Now, the thing that concerns me is, not long ago, you were in an incident where when you crashed your vehicle, someone tragically lost their life. Everyone in this room, if we were in those same circumstances of what we saw the other day, we'd either be in handcuffs or we'd be scrutinized. The question that I've got is, if this happened to you a long time ago, you should be driving safer than anybody in the city of Paterson. But anyone that sees that video and looks at it, it's very hard to defend that you weren't under the influence. I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure everyone in here has had a drink or two at least once before. But my question is, when the accident was done, were you breathalyzed? Were you held accountable? That's why accountability absolutely matters. See, if we continue to vote for the same posse, the same clique, the same gang, the same people that support each other and donate to each other's campaigns and keep the same thing going, you're going to get the exact same results. So with that being said, and I mean this with all due respect, Councilman, I think you need to get the cardboard box, fill it up, cover it up, and resign. Thank you.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Speaker is Zakia Mack. Please
Good
state
evening,
your name.
everyone.
Thank you.
Zakia Mack, Paterson, New Jersey.
It's about 13.
We have a lot of issues that's going on in the city of Paterson, from council, mayor, to everything in between. We sit here, we're talking about raising taxes, people are already struggling. We're not making men's eat in our home, making men's meat in our home. You want to know where the money is at? Why is there so much money being returned back to the state? Why is it that HUD is asking for money back? Why is the Board of Education renting a building for $10 million and you have a building that's liable downtown that you own? It's not something that you're renting, you own the building. But we're spending all of this money for new furniture for superintendents. Every time a new superintendent come in, they get expensive furniture. $285,000 salaries. And we have nothing to show for anything that is being taken. Nothing. School lunch is still bad. Chromebooks are terrible. You're losing teachers left and right. School's old. Lunch is old. Yeah, asbestos in every building in the city of Paterson, but we're not even caring about what we're putting our kids into, okay? You guys are supposed to be the leaders. What are our kids looking at? This is supposed to be a time for you to mentor our kids so they can be the next ones to come in and take the seats that you have here. No one has done any mentoring. Election time is now everybody's taking pictures. Oh, we gotta get this done. We gotta do this, we gotta do, because it's election time now. But after the election time, and the chicken is gone, and the White Castle is gone, nobody else is, you're out here doing nothing. But you constantly come to the residents for money that we don't even have. We're paying $2,000, almost $3,000 in rent.
Rent, yeah.
For what? I can hear my neighbor's conversation, the whole thing, either on the phone or not. We have I don't like to use them call them addicts, but we have the disadvantaged, the ones that are on the streets that want to change. You guys keep saying that, oh, nobody wants the services, nobody wants the services. Have anybody spoken to them to ask them if they wanted the services? What is the outcome when I receive these services? What I'm gonna do when I come out of a straight and narrow? Do I have a volunteer program to where I can go and volunteer at a supermarket and I can get my skills up so I can have a job, so I can pay for rent? This is the problem that we have here, and no one wants to come with the solutions. Everybody wants your vote when it's time to get their vote, but then when that is done, we have nothing else to say. We need to get it together for our kids' sake. It's no longer about us. It's our children that are at stake right now. And we're watching it as they drive-by shootings, robbing people. Mother's Day was the worst day possible that a person could lose a child for no reason at all. We have to do better in the city, and we need to start with our leaders. We need to get people in here that want to do the job, not just collect and run the check. And I'm talking to my people of color. We need to start voting because we're not doing it. And the more we sit and let it go, the more tragedy is gonna happen. So if you don't want to vote, don't come up here and complain about anything if you have not voted to change what we're going through in the city of Paterson.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Ernest Mack.
Good evening. to the council and to all the concerned citizens here. I'm not going to beat up on anybody today. Y'all been beat up pretty good. I'm going to express what my feelings are about my city that I grew up in. I'm a lifelong member of Paterson. I raised a family in Paterson. My wife and I built a home here for us in Paterson. Recently, my wife passed away, and I carrying the load myself, but that's okay. I'm not here for anybody's pity. I'm here because of the cost of living and what it takes now for a person to maintain their life in Paterson and to maintain their home. 6 months ago, you guys went up on the taxes. My mortgage just went up. And now, coming back around again, you guys want to raise taxes again. And I was raised to believe, I was taught that every problem is not solved by throwing money at it. But you have to have some kind of organization, some kind of management. Somebody has to know what they're doing besides sitting behind a desk looking cute. So what I suggest that we do, all of y'all that love our children like I do, with your nice suits on, I wear suits too, I like that. Cut your salaries in half and donate it to our city and to our schools. And then you will see how it feels, the parents, when you are going up on their mortgage and their rent, and our children come out of school and they won't have a home to go to because their parents can't afford the home. I know it doesn't matter to you guys because you guys right now settle good in your salaries. It's totally repugnant to constantly throw money at a situation over and over and over again. I spoke to the mayor. You can tell the people who are in distress, they're here. But there's a community that's not here today. They doing well because their mayor taking care of them. And I had spoke to the mayor myself, and he called me because I had a street sign that the city sanitation had ran over and knocked it down over on 18th Ave. A year ago, nothing done yet. A year, and I can't get a street sign up, but you guys want to raise, because every time you want to do something for yourself, you say our children need it. And that's a lie, because when I was raising my children, that same excuse, that same thing is for the kids. And my kids was reading out of Xerox books, not even hardcover. They were eating lunch with the rats and the roaches. The same thing is going on right now today. And it's ridiculous that people have to go through this stressful time. Everybody is going through something on their own. I worked, give me 30 seconds and I'm finished.
Yes.
I worked in law enforcement. I retired. And in law enforcement, it's like the military. It teaches you something if you're a black officer. It lets you know what you can do and what you can't do. And it holds you accountable to everything that you do. You have no wiggle room, no way out. So I had to stand on my principles, and I thank God I did, because I retired with my head up and with respect and accountability. But in that whole thing, if an allegation came up against you, it didn't have to be proven, you were removed until that allegation was found either substantial or whether it was not. It didn't matter how good you were, it didn't matter how bad you were. And I'm saying to my councilman, this is your second go around that you have been accused for this very thing. And it's time for you to move aside, be investigated, let the investigation take its course. It can't do it now because they didn't breathalyze you. They covered for you. They protected you. They looked out for you. It's a good old boy system. And then you guys give each other those astronomical raises like you did that female last superintendent that you retired with hundreds of thousands of dollars that could have went for our schools. I know why you did it, because when it's your turn, you want everybody to join in with you. I know. So you leave us as citizens out in the cold, and you guys pad your pockets and your wallets, and you move out of the county, and you live your life. And if you see anybody like me coming through you call the police. That's what you do. That's what's been going on for centuries. And people, we've been falling for that. We've been used by that. It's time for us to wake up. They can't do it. We can. Know who you're putting in office. Know who you are electing. See what they want out of what they're doing. A pension? Is that what you're looking for? You're looking to pad your pockets and don't care for the people? We keep putting these people in office. We have the power and the authority to get these people out. We cry here all the time. We whine all the time, and it's the same thing over and over again. I'm sick of it. I paid my way through. I paid every tax that you guys ever put up. Never had to come to you begging you for anything, but you guys have not given us nothing but heartache.
Thank you.
Councilman Jackson, I just want to say to you, I admire your courage. I hear a lot of things about you. I hear a lot of complaints about you. I hear all the stuff on the side. But I have never heard nothing that I heard about you coming from him. But he gets more of the condemnation than you do. And something is wrong with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councilman, I know you. You're the councilman in my ward.
I know.
I came to you. I asked you about that tree that was leaning over my house. Before it fell.
It's on the list.
And you helped get that tree out of the way. I appreciate that. I also came to you about that stop sign, that four-way stop sign where people are coming from Villain Ave wide open straight down to Route 21. I talked to you. I talked to the mayor. I go up in the East Side Park. I see over there by the mosque, they got four-way stop signs. They got police alerts things. They even took the street and altered the street to accommodate their community.
It's on the list, your stop sign.
It is wrong for this kind of stuff to go on. That's why none of them are here, because they're being taken care of. But my taxpayers' money is paying for them.
It's on the list, your stop sign.
It's something wrong when you can come into this country and have a home and make a business and all of that ready for you, and nobody else can function but you. There's something wrong. Everybody has a right to live. Everybody has a right to make their own way. But don't take my taxpayer dollars, suppress me, and then you lift up another community with my money. That's wrong. I ask you to talk to your no-show mayor and tell him that street sign is still not there. The four-way stop signs are still not put up. Traffic is still shooting up and down the street. And my house was hit by a car that ran out of control and hit my home.
I know.
Thank you.
And it's on the list, by the way. It's on the list on Public Works. I'll call you. Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Allison Williams. Allison Williams, no? Okay. The next speaker is Wileen Rogers. Please state your name.
My name is Wileen Rogers. Can you hear me? Okay. I came down here to complain. This is my first time talking to this council. I want you to know that I don't have any more respect for any of you. Dr. Mims, my nephew told me to say hi to you, your cousin. But he also wanted me to tell you that he has no more respect for you guys. He's watching from Virginia. You know, he moved out of Paterson because the taxes got so high. I paid rent in this town for 51 years. Now I'm paying taxes. So you're gonna have a problem out of me because I don't appreciate the way you're spending my money. I'm paying taxes now, you know, and I'm not getting anything for my money, you know. I got alcoholics on the panel that don't know how to drive. If it was me, I'd be in jail, you know. I got people on the panel that steal elections. If it was me, I'd be in jail, you know. It's disgusting. This whole thing is run like a circus, and I have to sit and watch it and get phone calls from relatives that used to live here, but they no longer live in this crappy town, and they're calling me, Wally, it's time for you to leave. I was born here. You're not going to run me out. But I know how to run all of y'all out at the ballot box. You understand me? Because this is embarrassing. This is not how you represent me. I don't drink and drive. So I don't want you representing me as a person who drink and drive. It's something I have never, ever done. Okay? I don't steal. So I don't want a thief representing me. You know? And then, what are we getting for our tax dollars? I worked on 2 social committees during my tenure here in Paterson. The African Heritage Committee. And the money that you charge to have a peaceful event in the park is ridiculous. Now I work on the McCoy Foundation, and we're trying to have a peaceful event in the park, and the fees that you charge are ridiculous. And we've never, ever, ever had an incident in the park where you got to charge us all this money. The only problem we ever had in the park was a problem that your president created. And even then, no police officers were involved in that. So why are we being billed all this money, damn near $500,000? Why? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Where is the money going? Where's my tax money going? You know, yeah, I exaggerated a little bit on that price, you know, but it's still ridiculous. Because where's the money going? What, you finna tell me my time is up? I want to tell you your time is up too.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Joyce Thomas. Joyce Thomas.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. I've never been here before, but it's such a pleasure to be here. I live at 532 River Street, the street that Paterson forgets. We have so many crates. People are losing tires. Now it's supposed to be fixed, but they're taking their sweet time. So next year, this time, I don't think it's going to be done. We're losing tires in Paterson. I've spoken to the mayor over and over and over. It's going to be done. It's going to be done. So they do a little patching, and then I don't see anyone again. But I'm here this evening to talk about Jamaica Day. Now, the first time the McCoys paid $500. Last year they paid $3,500, and this year you're charging them $8,200. We are taxpayers. We pay taxes. This is a park which is supposed to be free. So what's going on? Who's going to get this money? $8,000. They're not making a profit. This is free. What's going on? I have been a resident in Paterson for many years. I'm originally from Jamaica. Jamaica became independent, no one cares, but from Great Britain in 1962. Now we celebrate. Every year we celebrate. Because we're not home, we celebrate in the park. There have never been an incident, a shooting, nothing in the park. So why do we need to pay this kind of money? And we look forward to it every year. This is the only thing we have because we're not in Jamaica. This is free, this is clean, family fun. You have vendors selling food so they can make some money. We have reggae music one day, and then we have gospel music. So it's not something that the McCoys are making any money on. This is not a money thing. But we have people from New York, they come from New York, they come from all over. Teaneck, I see people sometimes we haven't seen in a long time. This is like a reunion. And we enjoy it. You have hundreds of people just dancing and singing and having a good time. So why are you charging $8,200, and where is this money going from? So we need to have it. We are going to have it this year, and we need this money to be reduced. So I don't know who is responsible but we don't have $8,200, and we are going to have it. Some of you are from the islands. You know we celebrate. So we need, I don't know who's in charge. I don't know who I'm speaking with. But we need
so
to
sweet.
pay less. It's supposed to be free. It's a park.
Yeah.
It's open.
Fuck.
So you
Charging
got to
8
do
bands
better
and
than
fucking
me.
Thank
doing
you.
something at Eastside Park.
Let's speak, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Lucinda
This nigga
Council.
right here is an asshole.
State your name, please.
Lucinda Council from Paterson. I'm here to piggyback off of what my two sisters prior to me talked about, which was Jamaica Day. I
Close to the
am
mic.
a lifelong.
Speak close to the mic, that way they could hear at home.
I am a lifelong resident of
Trying to be an
Paterson.
asshole.
Last year, I participated in the with the planning committee for the Jamaican Day celebration that's hosted by the Bill McCoy Foundation. I'm not Jamaican, but I wanted to be a part of this event that is so long-standing, not-for-profit, free event that brings so much joy and unity to the community. But this year, as we started to plan, saw that the charges, as was said before, went from $500 2 years ago to $8,100 this year. So I can't understand and justify, and I was hoping that maybe somebody here would be able to help us with that. How do you jump from 500 in 2 years to 8,100? I felt so strongly about this. This is my first time speaking in front of the council, but I really wanted to say something and bring it to your attention. I also wanted to know, what is the city of Paterson planning to do in lieu of events, community events, that like this that are being priced out? I mean, taxes are going up year over year astronomically, and the community is getting less and less in terms of benefits, recreation services. So what is the city planning on doing to replace free events that are being priced out and can't afford to continue? That's all I have.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Nay Jimmy. Jamie? There he is. I'm sorry. And next.
Good night. I want to talk to Mr. Jackson. This is my first time coming here. I'm Dominican, and everybody make a queue, like the Dominican people and everybody. But I don't never see that German coming for the first work and do nothing. Anytime he got the election, oh, no party, only black people. I'm black. My father Haiti, and I'm working too hard. Have a business and 2 burgers and 3 in Paterson, and you talk too much and you don't do nothing in the first work. I have it there more than 10 years. You never see you. The time they floor, everybody flooded, and never you go over there. Never you see over there in Paterson. And you only talk, open your mouth, blah, 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 blah. That's only you do it. I'm Dominican, and I'm Haiti too. Okay? I'm working too hard. I pay my taxes here. I've been a person, and nobody help you. The government come and talk blah, blah, blah too, and he say he help the people that down a floor, and he don't do nothing. The government is saying like you, like bullshit. That's the only the government doing. And the police too, coming to over there, make a ticket. The one side you send the car, 3 o'clock in the morning, take every car and pay the ticket. Why you not send the 3 o'clock in the morning, clean the tree, the people coming to my shop and try taking my money. I'll call the police, wait 8 hours when the fucking police not coming. They only give a ticket to my car, pay the last 2 months ago, last 2 weeks ago, I paid $2,000 for taking the car for the pound. For he taking the car ready to have a proof. I have a proof the car, my car registered, the plane registered and everything. And the police take it, and that's why he got time for pay ticket. Put ticket. But why he not got time clean the tree? Why he not do that? Everybody say the mayor, no the mayor. It's you and the every police and every councilman here supposed to do the job. I'm working too hard and pay my taxes here, and you don't do nothing for the first one. And everybody here, oh, the mayor, no. The police have the problem too, the whole community work together. That body not clean. I need everybody to work together and clean and do work. work. No only all coming here talking bullshit, clean the tree. The whole Paterson is for talk. I'm working too hard. And he cleaned the whole Paterson, everybody all together. In Clito, you don't see no garbage. In Paseo, you don't see no garbage. Only in Paterson. And everybody talking bullshit. I don't have the rain and parking my car. And all the way, the police coming, easy, make a ticket 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't see never there you support you people in that fair. Only say, oh, no, the Dominican people, black people. No, everybody is same thing, same blonde. No matter why you're black, same blonde. And you are working only for think about you there. Nobody changing you for almost 20 years.
Thank you, bro.
Only you here. Do your job.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Bill McCoy.
Bring him back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Councilman Bill McCoy, served on the Municipal Council for 20 years, from 2000 until 2020. And I think the question was asked, was the election stolen? Yes. The Attorney General has issued a superseding indictment that says, yes, that was stolen. And if nobody has asked for tonight, I'm going to ask the Council President, given the charges, that he ought to resign from his position and step down. Nothing stolen should be held in possession. He said in the paper, oh, that it was unfair to have an indictment. He sounds like Donald Trump. The unfairness is that you're sitting there in a stolen seat and being paid by the taxpayers and not doing the job. I want to say that I came here tonight not to say all of that, but to speak to the Jamaica Day Festival. But the responsibility of true leadership is first to be able to listen, learn, and respond to the cries and the concerns of the residents. I stand before you this evening as a victim of crime. And I watched on Facebook someone losing their life over a chain or senseless act. And it pains my heart, because my wife could be mourning today. For 2 years ago, I was assaulted by 2 men with bats. And believe me, the streets are talking. We know where they come from, and we know the motivation behind what they did that day. So I'm here today to stand up and to say with all of you that we require justice. And accountability starts at the top. Accountability, if you ignore it for the council president, you're going to ignore it for everybody else. So I think we need to step up and to do the right thing. And I thank the council, the Attorney General, for finally laying out for you an indictment of charges that tell you exactly what happened in 2020 and showed you the evidence of what happened. And Council President, you can be mysterious as ever you want to be, hold yourself in a fantasy land, but your day of reckoning is coming, and it is on the agenda. Let me say real quickly that the folks that talked about the increase in charges, we're doing a free event to bring our community together. And the $8,100 that was talked about, that was just for DPW, for cleaning up for 2 days. We are being assigned 3 supervisors to supervise a cleanup. I'm not too sure what 3 supervisors are going to do on 2 days to clean up, but that's $8,100 for $8,200 for DPW, $8,100 for the police, $1,000 for the fire department, $750 for insurance, $350 for a permit, for a total of $18,562.28 in order to get a permit to put on a free event for a community, one that has been without any issues until the council president came there and started something. And what everybody doesn't know, he took me to court and charged me with criminal charges that I had to answer into the Haledon Municipal Court. He came, he was the only one that testified, he was the only one that presented evidence, and the judge threw it out on his heel, but I still had to pay my lawyer. He's got his lackey behind me, who has filed a $2 million liability charge against me for somebody say you stole Jamaica Day. I don't know who owns Peru. I don't know who owns Jamaica.
Thank you.
I don't know who owns the United States.
Madam Clerk, next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Council President, you gave everybody else a minute. I'm your opponent.
Speaker, Madam Clerk. No, you're not my opponent. You're not my opponent. Let's go to the next speaker, Madam Clerk. You're not my You're not really my opponent. Trust me on that. Trust me, believe me. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is
He's not my opponent.
Tiffany McCoy.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk. Members of the public, please, 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 please.
Please state your name.
We have maybe a few. How many more speakers, Madam Clerk, we have?
1, 2, 3. I think it's about 5.
Five members of the, we have 5 more speakers, and we have a special. Madam Clerk, we got 5 speakers?
Yes.
No. We keep going up and up. We have a special meeting that is supposed to take.
I said about 5.
Council member. Council member. Madam Clerk,
Council
so let's go
President,
through those speakers because we have. Next speaker.
Point of order, Council President.
Next speaker.
Point of order. Sir, I don't know where you think this is, but that to some how inappropriate is that?
Go ahead. What's your point?
How inappropropriate is that?
Yeah, go
again.
My point of order is the disrespect.
No,
I don't understand where you think you are. You just
listen. I'm at the council chamber.
That's not how you. That's not how you speak to anyone.
Go ahead.
That's not how you speak to anyone.
Okay.
I mean,
thank you.
It was
appreciate it.
You. It was you who told the clerk to add everybody to the list.
Sure. So
and now you want to place
what I tried. I'm not trying to rush the resident, but let me just finish. What I'm trying to say is we have 3 lawyers waiting for a meeting that we need to have to resolve a legal matter. Now, I don't want to leave nobody behind. Let me finish. We have to get into a meeting. The meeting was advertised for 8 p.m. on the public. Now, I want to make sure that everybody get the opportunity to speak. So we're going to go through the 5 speakers that we have, because after that, we're going to have to do a closed section that everybody have to leave the chamber. I'm sorry. I do apologize if you feel offended by that. But let me go through the next speaker. That way we could cover the 5. But you're in the list. You're in the list. If you feel offended, I say I do apologize to you. I just want to make sure that you get a chance to speak. I want the community to hear. Madam Clerk, say 5 speakers.
The next speaker is Tiffany McCoy.
Okay, thank you.
Please state your name. Thank you.
So there's a downside to politicizing your office.
The passion that exists in this room tonight is a manifestation of that downside, where you lose faith, you lose hope, you lose confidence in the leaders that you elect or not to an office to represent you. That's the downside, because politicizing community work, which this is, you serve your community, right? We talk about politicians and everybody's talking about a political system because that's what we exist in, right? It's a paradigm of political structure. Malcolm X talks about it. If you want to revolutionize a system, you don't become a part of it, you destroy it. So you guys came into this, you had people that came before you, the Councilman McCoys and the Morrises and the Dixons and the Rooneys and the Ames, Vera Ames Garnes, who came before you that were a part of a system that they laid a foundation for you to uphold. You're not doing that. So the people that are coming from the city, that's what's driving this momentum here. That's what's filling up the seats. That's why you have so many people wanting to speak to you and wanting to express to you, because people are passionate about the pain that they're feeling. 5.6 increase again. Council President, you ran your entire campaign against my father on the fact that he bared the burden of tax rising. And here you are, and yet they rise. Here you are at the helm, and they still rise. So the idea that I move along to get along is no longer enough. People are, not only are the taxes increasing, the death tolls are increasing. People are losing their lives. My father talked about it. I was there. I responded to him being beaten by two men wielding bats in front of my home at 7 o'clock in the morning, and there's still not an answered call. I could have put out the video that we have of those people that came to my house, because I have it. We're not here for that. This is traumatizing to my family and to our community. I know what these people are feeling. I know what Felix's family is feeling. I know what people are going through, because it could have happened to us. And he and his colleagues were complicit and silent up until this day. You've never called my house. You've never visited my house and given us any regards about what happened to my father 2 years ago. Taxes are still high. Crime is still high. Disrespect is at an all-time high. Threats of violence coming from council members is at an all-time high. When is it going to stop?
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Deborah Hannibal.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Okay. The next speaker is Audrey Sterling. No.
Next speaker.
The next speaker is Anthony Davis.
Councilman Anthony Davis.
Good evening. Former Councilman Anthony Davis, City of Paterson. I want to first give my condolences to Mayor Sharp James' family. We lost our mayor, Newark. And I want to say happy birthday to Stevie Wonder, 75 years old. I am elated to my quarterback, high school football quarterback, Joe Keys, and explaining, and I agree with you. Council President, there's a lot of things I want to say, and I still believe that you got to command the room. And if people are going to be disrespect both sides, they got to go. Council as well as the audience. There's no reason anyone should be in here disrespecting the chambers. No one. You just heard from Tiffany McCoy, passionate, but you didn't hear her disrespect the council. You didn't hear her disrespect the community. That's how people got to talk. That's right. You could be angry, you could be upset, you could be passionate, but you do not need to be in here swearing and cursing and disrespecting this room. Anyone, both sides. And if you have a problem with that, so be it. Command your room, sir. Command your room. No one can, well, council members can't remove another council. You cannot. You can't censure them. And censuring council members for what has happened on anyone, you can do that. But you can't not remove them. Even if you want them to remove, you cannot. Only way people do that is people vote people out or they resign. So look at what's going on. Our community is hurting. I said 3 years ago about this racial undertone, and here it is. We do have, and it's going to get worse if we don't get together and stick together. I yield.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk. Thank you.
The next speaker is Tricia Thompson.
Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon, council. Good afternoon, community. Good afternoon, councils. I'm standing here today because I am tired, I'm frustrated, and I'm sick of what's going on in our community as a young black girl. We stand today and we'll look, what example do the council set for the young people? Lead by example and we follow. You set no example. What do you expect the youth of today to do? The youth of today is not like the youths. That's not 3 minute, Council.
No. Madam Clerk, can you restart the clock, please?
Our youth of today is not our youth of 20, 30 years ago. Our youth are rising differently. You have to provide activity for them to do. No activity, what do you lead them to do? Our youths out here are single parent. Some youths did not have parent guidance. If you don't guide them, what do you expect them to do? The guns, who providing it? Some youth don't even have access, much less to sign their name on a paper. How do they get the guns? How do they get the guns? Where is our community? Where is the protection for our kids? People are laying on the side of the road. Paterson, everybody comes and dumps it here. Our tax dollars, and I can speak because I work, I don't rely on the system. We pay taxes, but still yet there's nothing done in our community. Council, something gotta be done. We're speaking, but you're not hearing. We're speaking, but you're not even looking at me. I like when I speak, I get direct eye contact, with all due respect, because you expect that from me, correct? We're here speaking, and I watch you sit beside your councilman beside you, laughing and talking. It's disrespectful. I watch your action from the minute I walk in this room, and I can tell you, you don't care. We vote you in, we can take you out. Until we rise and get them out, nothing will be done. We put them in, we take them out. Our vote counts, our voice counts. No protection. I have witnessed police on 10th Ave that's supposed to serve and protect, not doing it. Crooked. Because they're not from here, so they don't count. One activity I keep in the park every year to celebrate Jamaicans, independence. Why do we have to pay so much money? What is it going towards? Now, we have to pay taxes, but still yet when they put the bulk outside, it's not picked up. So what we paying them to clean? Did you read the contract before you signed it? So you raised taxes, which you said McCoy was getting blamed for it. You're here, but still taxes raised. It's going up and up and up and up. Will it ever stop? Bulks is on the street, not being cleaned, left in front of the house. So what are we paying taxes for? You come into a black community, but you want us to live like the white community as Princeton. One moment, please. But when you check Princeton community and they pay tax, these things are covered in it. They have a day for bulk. So they drive around that day and they pick up the bulk, correct? In Paterson, you can't raise taxes, but the money is not benefit the community. My daughter walks to school every day. I think she's in danger. Why? Is all these people that's on the side of the street from Paterson? No. But what do you do about it? We live on a $15 pay rate an hour. You raise taxes in Paterson. What do you expect we young people to do? Let's speak for myself. I get $16.85 an hour. Work 40 hours a week, right? My rent is $3,000 for 3-bedroom. Not included light, not included heat. Tell me after I finish pay car insurance, food, gas, no food stamp, no Section 8, how do we provide a home for our kids? But still yet you raise taxes, landlord raise rent. Where do we stand? Should I be homeless because we are the part of a bridge for it? Veterans that get Social Security, that is only probably $1,000 a week. How do they pay for that? We got to do better.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, Madam Clerk.
Don't just listen, but hear.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Council President, we have one last speaker, and that's Joseph
Motion.
Hart. Joseph Hart. I think he may have left. I'm not sure.
He's not here.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, there he is.
that's Joseph. I'm sorry. Who's the next speaker, Madam Clerk?
Joseph Hart.
Okay.
Citizen. I'm a native Patersonian. I've been like hearing all this stuff that's going on. I'm not here to bash any of you guys because I'm quite sure there ain't nobody who ain't been at dinner or had a drink or whatever and whatnot and drove around. Look at these cats on the scooter bikes now. Look at the transit buses that can't make their turn on Ellison Street. It's gonna be a bad accident there one day. But you know what? As for the garbage and whatnot, to me, garbage is garbage. And I feel like this. Why, if the garbage pick up the garbage, why not have the recycling truck pick up right in back of it? That way it won't be no... I'm trying not to cuss, especially in front of these kids. But in front of all the other shit, you know? I'm sorry. Usually, you know, and it's like, the mayor should be here. I mean, all the other times when I used to like watch this on TV, it was like, you know,
He just came here to be
one
on
eye
TV.
on Paterson and one, it was like a joke. But Graves was there. This mayor's not here. I don't know him that well, but he's always fixing up this, fixing up that. How about the sidewalks? How about painting the yellow lines again for the pedestrians? Because I hate that. You see a lot of knuckleheads, they'll just don't park, don't give a damn, and run the red light too. Now when Joe crosses that line, I'll make him stop. I know I get cussed at probably, I don't give a damn. Because I'm like this, a mug could rob the bank or something. You stop him when I'm coming through. You know, cops catch you, they get you, that's all to it. But that's me. I got my reasons why my attitude's like that because I used to have a job for 29 years and I lost it because of the COVID crap. And my mind ain't been right ever since. But, you know, the way things is, as the movie of Cool Hand Luke, Paul Newman, and Shirley Martin said, what we got here is a fail to communicate. And that's what we got here in Paterson, you know. Nobody understands each other, nobody cares, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. And I'm just trying to live my life every day I can, you know. And that's all I got to say. I'll be back again. Y'all be safe. And happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there because every day's Mother's Day.
Thank you. Are you on the list?
All right. All right.
Council President, seeing none, move to close.
Council President, there's one young lady in the back. She's been waiting for quite some time. It's only 2 more minutes.
Just a minute.
She was apparently on the list.
Yeah.
The one young lady we can allow one. She's been sitting there patiently, and I don't know what happened to the list, but you have one young lady.
Do you came? How are you? Do you came to speak on the? All right. Okay. Madam Clerk, can you start the 3 minutes for the young lady?
Would you state
that
your
came
name,
in?
please?
My name is Esmeralda Figueroa. I'm from Paterson.
Mike is on. Just speak close to the mic, please.
My name's Esmeralda, and I'm from Paterson. I'm here tonight to speak on something that has impacted me personally. Recently, my parked car was hit and damaged by a vehicle driven by a member of this council. While I understand accidents can happen, what followed has been deeply frustrating and disappointing. I rely on my car every single day to get to school, to job interviews, to doctor appointments, and to handle essential errands. Being without it has caused serious financial strain, missed opportunities, and unnecessary stress. I never expected to be in this situation, especially when the at-fault driver is someone elected to serve this community. What's even more troubling is that I haven't received any clear communication about who's taking responsibility for the damages, and I need resolution and accountability. I don't deserve to be left in the dark or much less burdened by something that's not my fault. That's all.
Wow. Thank you. Sophia, can you get her information, please? Thank you. See no move to close. I have a motion to close public portion.
Move to close.
Move to close by Councilwoman Mims. Second by Council President Mendez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the public portion.
Roll call to close the public portion. Councilwoman Cotton? Oh. Councilwoman Davila?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So, what we're speaking to is integrity and a lack thereof. And the brother that came to address me, I've never received a phone call from you. Listen, there's so many problems in the city. I got people getting killed. You think I'm just gonna ride around and ask you, do you have problems? If you call me, I will show up. Sir, you had a moment to speak. I didn't say anything while you came and said all these derogatory things.
No,
I'll come to you. I'll come to your business. I'll give you my cell phone number. I don't think you understand how government works. You're talking about police officers writing tickets. They answer to the mayor. I'm the only one out there challenging police officers when they're mistreating the public. So I don't know what you're talking about. But again, it's about integrity. As I was taking my daughter to school one day in Montclair, I hit somebody's car. Now, he was rushing around me, but nonetheless, I hit his car. We exchanged numbers. It was no need for us to get the insurance companies involved. I had to pay for his damages. I had to pay for his Tesla to get fixed. And this guy's out here hitting people with such a lack of integrity. This young girl, who knows what challenges she has to meet and what obligations she has to meet. Right away, there should have been a note left on the car saying, I hit your car, I'm gonna take care of the damages. But it's a lack of integrity. Now, I'm gonna shoot him some bail on this. Some of you may not agree. But I don't necessarily go all the way in with the way a lot of you were going in with about him, because this is a common occurrence. You know how many people in this community are driving with a needle hanging out their arm, passed out at the wheel, smash up 3, 4 parked cars, sideswipe cars, and the cops have never taken them under custody, have never given a toxicology test. They say send them to the hospital. They go to the hospital, the emergency room, the people don't want to deal with them there, and they let them right out 5 minutes later. So I told the reporter, check the reports. And see, this is where the council's job is, where he doesn't understand. Our job is to hold them accountable. Now we know all the drugs that's going on in the city, people coming in the city to buy drugs. How many times has someone been arrested for driving under the influence? How many times have we seen somebody given a sobriety test in the middle of the yellow line? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So I'm curious, Mr. B.A., I'm gonna need a report from the PD, Mr. Director Jerry Spezial. I want to know how many people have been arrested and charged with driving while under the influence. How many people have been given a breathalyzer test? How many people have been given a sobriety test? How many people have been arrested because he should have got arrested that day, taken to the hospital, and given a mandatory blood test? Now I'm gonna take it even further, where there's such a lack of integrity. Because the young lady accused him of being drunk. Whatever, right? If it was me and I knew I wasn't drunk, I would have went to the hospital and asked them to please conduct a test. I want to prove to the young lady that I wasn't under the influence. But no, we try to look how we could get over. The same way that when I accused, by the way, and everybody out here, wow, ooh, how bad that is. The civil service test says you are required to speak, to write, to understand English. It's not a crime not to understand English. You can speak any language. But to get a job when you're related to the person on the council, that is what's illegal. And not one council member has stood up against that as we spoke. But if he was a person of integrity and I was wrong, he would have had his wife come to the podium and speak. And even if it was broken English, I respect that. Or do a video in English. No, we do a video as a victim, but only in Spanish. Just proving the fact that you don't speak English, that you shouldn't have gotten a job over somebody else who's more qualified. But when we look at the corruption that's going on, you look at what's happening, Where's the level of accountability? They all vote for each other. Who just said it? Somebody was talking about the homeless situation. You just saw the article. $4 million from housing that got returned back to HUD that was supposed to be designated for Section 8 to homeowners. We allowing our people to be out here taken advantage of by developers that's just raising the rate that's so unaffordable. And yet, who do you see saying anything about it? But they're getting upset because I'm calling it out, right? So I want to give, and I apologize, Deacon Mack, I appreciate you coming. And the girls, the young Mrs. Mora and these two wonderful young ladies, I think they've already left. I had the pleasure of going down to New Brunswick. The YMCA put together, and it's been going on for 80 years. I had no idea. It is an actual governance seminar. They go away for about 3-4 days, and they hold all the positions that you could think of in governance, from the governor's seat all the way on down, from the lobbyists to, and these young ladies, they actually wrote a legislation. They do what my colleagues do not do. Because nobody up here writes their own legislation but me. But this is these young ladies who wrote their own legislation. I'm going to make it available to you guys because it's phenomenal stuff. One of them, she wants to present it to the council, which, by the way, all of you have the ability to do. The public is capable of providing legislation directly to this council to be voted on. So I want to give them some props, and the YMCA for doing what they do. And by the way, the YMCA was named in those home dollars monies that was claimed to be given back because the administration failed yet again. More money that went back, right? How many of you recall me beasting? And I'm gonna do a more extensive video about this because Councilman McCoy knows about this well. The PRC is one of the derelict entities in this community that gave me the toughest time in business. I've been in business for 30 plus years, almost about 25 years, right? And I broke my back in that place. I still have not lost it. They're cheering for that, right? But from $300,000-$400,000 in grants that I wrote for myself before I was elected, $1.4 million that I borrowed, the lending capacity of the PRC is from $100,000. Please listen to this: $100,000 to $3 million. Director, I'm gonna need to speak to. I need a meeting about this. I need an audit of that PRC, those funds. 100,000 to 3 million. I was the only black recipient, and to the gentleman, I was one of maybe 5 Hispanic recipients. Because you guys know my mother is Hispanic, right? Pollo Completo, they got over $500,000. All those different stores in the mall, $500,000-$600,000. The supermarket that was next to 90 Delaware got close to $2.5 million. All of them defaulted. I got $140,000. Now, maybe a long time ago, that sounds like a lot of money. I could spend $100,000 in about 2-3 days. That's pennies in comparison to what we're spending here and watch be wasted. $140,000 they gave me. They made me wait 7-8 months, which made me have to close. I had to become my own chef. I lost staff. I had to hold down a mortgage for 7-8 months while they derelictly held that money up. Now they're gonna turn around. We and everybody on here, they all sat next to me while I called it bloody murder. The building on Ellison Street, we paid $6 million, and that building won't even appraise for $2 million now. We paid $6 million that we used that PRC money. $7 million for the business incubator over on East Railwood Avenue. Now the mayor, after they done failed and never gave one report for the stadium for $110 million, not one report. How many yards of concrete was poured? How much did all of the materials cost? None of these guys asking the question. $110 million we let get wasted. Now we let Joe. That stadium, it was our stadium. It no longer belongs to us. The Jackals playing there now, this female football team, professional football team, that's supposed to be for our kids. Now they're gonna take $2.5 million more of that money just to put 2 professional soccer teams without a report on who's gonna be the beneficiary of it. Wow. Who's gonna make the money? So the $1.4 million in deficit Was $700,000 being called administrative? Administrative, what does that mean? Who got paid from that? Where the checks? Look at this guy. He's a functioning illiterate. He doesn't even understand what's going on. And yet he's going to continue to vote for it, right? Then he says, I showed up to the ribbon cutting at the stadium. I won a state championship there. What do you think I would do? Just because the money's being squandered, and I'm telling you that the money's being squandered, does that mean I don't show up to the ribbon cutting? No, but what he did was he voted in the affirmative on the Fifth Avenue project that now the Paterson Housing Authority is getting ready to let this man make $40 to $50 million in between developers' fees. What we did is a scam. He bought all these properties for $1. All those properties on Jefferson Street, Arch Street, Garfield Avenue, North Main Street, East Main Street, North 3rd Street, those are his properties that he's not paying full taxation for, because they're falling under the auspice of housing, of which we have our great chairperson now of the Housing Authority to thank for this, because now he's taking money off of these vouchers that he's getting, and he's selling those properties back to himself, meaning he's going to pay himself $16 million. Damn. And on top of that, $20+ million in developers fee. Why are they so quiet?
They might hurt
Crickets.
him. He might get hurt.
When the developer came here and Kamisha,
putting
you
all
were
this
sitting
shit
right
on blast
there.
like this.
Who did he call out? Did he call Mendez out? No, because Mendez said, oh, thank you for such a wonderful job you're doing for the people and giving them housing. No, thank you for ripping us off. Thank you for ripping us off. And then the developer had the nerve to say, oh, Councilman Jackson, you'll be happy to hear, this is my last project. Yeah, because you done stole from us so much, there's no other projects for you to steal from. So it's ridiculous, man. Lack of integrity. Omar, pay attention, please, sir. Don't fall into the same traps of the devious games as these people. The day that Bobby Williams was burying his daughter, Destiny, her name is Destiny, Alex Mendez. The day that Destiny was being buried, you'd have thought he showed up to the services? No. They was doing a ribbon cutting of a field. At the time, somebody sent me a video of the mayor, Alex Mendez, I believe Omar was there, Abdelaziz was there for a ribbon cutting when a young girl who was pregnant, 21 years old, was just gunned down in your city. You would have figured every flag in the goddamn city would have been flying at half-mast. You would have figured the city shut down, because we're mourning a young lady and a family that just lost their daughter. So, you know, they out here cutting ribbons, man, celebrating, redoing parks. You know, while Mike and Taylor talking about, well, it's not the government. Yes, it is the government. It is our responsibility. You know, there's big vacuum trucks that come into Paterson every morning right across the street from Wendy's. We pay these guys millions of dollars to come vacuum. Well, we own vacuum trucks ourselves. We could be employing people. Get rid of all these contracts and employ people. You know why I'm excited? Because I already know. You don't need to tell me. I'm going to win the next mayor's race. And I'm going to show you how to fix this place. I'm going to stop people from stealing from us. I'm going to stop people from taking from us. I'm going to put people back to work. People are crying. They're dying. What rent's going up so high, and what do? We finagle the planning board, and we continue to allow people to knock down 1 and 2 family houses to build 16, 25 units without parking spaces. It's freaking crazy. So yeah, you better keep holding the council accountable. The Housing Authority, they answer to the council. The Housing Authority are managing properties that's owned by the city. These properties are not owned by the Housing Authority. They're not owned by the Housing Authority. So the derelict management falls back on this council from your appointees that's sitting over there and allowing for this stuff to happen. Lastly, I'm going to put out that video. I was trying not to, because, you know, the young brother who works for the mayor, he's a police officer. He's a good dude. He's just following instructions. It's raining. I think this is over the weekend. Rain just starting to come down. He's out there in the middle of that park right off Route 19, forcing all those homeless people to pack their stuff up and throw it in the garbage. Like, I get it, you don't want the homeless to make you look bad, but at least provide a solution for them. You done paved the way for all these developers. The least they could do is give you some free apartments so that you could put some homeless people in there. Or for that matter, the PRC money, how about taking that and giving it to the homeless situation? How about taking that and giving it to entities that's providing these outlets or these community engagements? But no, we're going to take $2.5 million and give it back to Vaughn McCoy so these guys could put it all in their pocket without an audit. Without an audit, it's criminal. Criminal. Over $40 million, director, that's unaccounted for. I want a full audit. I want an audit of what's going on with the PRC. And I'm going to file a lawsuit. I'm the only business that the PRC has ever taken to court and challenged. They're garnishing my council check wages now for that measly $140,000. While they're giving away $2.5 million so somebody could bring a professional soccer team in here so somebody else can make money who never made a contribution to the stadium. They can't tell you one dime, how much did the developer invest in that project? Ask them that. Ask the finance committee that goes in there and have private meetings. Ask them, how much did the developer contribute? They can't tell you. They can't tell you. Oh, and then they say, oh, well, that's not us, it's the school board. Oh, school board, oh, it's not us, it's the council. They're all doing the same thing. Kissing somebody's ass while somebody else is getting rich, while our community's suffering. Those people that live over there in those houses up by the stadium, the stuff fell apart the first year, windows falling out of the building, the cheapest materials they could possibly use. And go down there and look at what this guy's doing in the housing authority properties. He's walking away, just in the developer's fee alone. The moment he signed the contract, over $20 million in developer, $20 million that one guy is putting in his pocket. Then he turned around, I gotta say it again, it's not to continue and ramble, he's gonna sell the properties that he has owned for the last 25 years that he let go derelict. When G did those videos, where's G? He left already? Those videos on those abandoned homes that he went and then boarded them up because they was abandoned for so long. Why? Because he's waiting for this check. He let those properties go derelict. People over there living without air conditioning. And now he's going to sell the property, make a new LLC, sell the properties to himself for $16 million. Then he has an architectural design fee on the budget for close to $1 million. Wait, he's rehabbing. That means he's gonna go paint, put new tiles down, maybe some new cabinets if we're lucky, and he got $1 million in architectural design fees. Then there's $350,000 per site, so $700,000 in legal fees. Who's the chairperson over there, Ms. Rogers? Oh, I forgot. You know who that is. The people sitting there and allowing for this to happen, $350,000 in his legal fees and then $75,000 per site for the city's legal fees. It's an embezzlement. Where's the accountability, people? Ask them to tell you what part of one thing that I said just now is a lie. And I will resign right now. If any one of them, I will put in my letter, I'll write it on this piece of paper. What part did I lie about? And I'll resign. Tell the mayor to come. He can easily get rid of me. He don't have to spend $350,000 on an election to try to get rid of me, to go lie, steal, and cheat, and steal absentee ballots. I'll resign now. But you can't, because you don't even know what's going on. Madam Clerk, my vote is no.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Mims.
To the public that is present and to the public that is watching, I do this every week and I'm going to continue to do it. I want to thank you for taking time out, taking time out of your busy schedules to watch and or to be in the chambers. We in this room, for the most part, have lived longer than we have left. We've lived longer than we have left. We're in the midst of a chaotic upheaval in the community because over time, things have been left undone. People have heard, but have not listened. Complaints have went forward and have not been answered. We've made requests, and there was no deliverables on the requests. We, as the legislative body, we take the brunt of the upset, frustration, and the anger from the community because we're here and they're not able to give it to the administration for where the direct reports, they report to the mayor. And so we don't mind that you come and have the complaints. When you call us, no matter what time of the day or night, sometimes I get calls 4:30 in the morning. We answer the calls. When Ms. Kitchen had her issue, and I know she was very frustrated, she called me. Not just called me, I called and gave it in. I went to the mall, it's Mother's Day weekend, only to receive the call when I was leaving. I don't have to lie, she's right there. Only to get the call that no one still had showed up. I made the call again, as she knows. I didn't just call, I showed up at her house. I don't have to say all the time the things that we do to go above and beyond our call of what we're supposed to do in this role, because there's so much that happens that when we get the calls or we see the videos circulating of a young man who we've been in the store, who's helped probably the majority of the community, always joking, humor, and to watch on video as they were playing dominoes, selfishly be taking away from his family with a child sitting right there. This is not just the first. I mean, there's many incidents of things that's been going on over time. And it's not just one ethnicity, it's across the city. It's all over the city. It's not in one ward, it's not in one section, it is absolutely everywhere. And to hear the cries when I get the phone calls, to see the faces and the anger of the people in the community, for one, not getting answers as to who did these crimes, or to have to sit in court and see those people that did the crime get released and or get looked at with dirty looks because they're frustrated and they're angry because their loved one is no longer here. My prayer is that everyone, talk to your children every day, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, everybody. If you work in the schools or wherever, every day, tell them how much they are appreciated. Tell them you love them. Tell them that someone cares. Because you'll never know how that will impact a child, no matter what the age is, from a newborn all the way up to even now. We all have to be a part of this broken system to help, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through conversation, encouragement, whatever it takes, but we have to all, instead of pointing fingers, put our hands to the plow. Because if we put our hands to the plow and come together in an all hands on deck to get it resolved, we won't have time to point fingers at who could, who can't, because we're all trying to help. Because we all live in the city, for the most part. We live here. I pay taxes just like you pay taxes. We have the same concerns you have. Taxes increasing, not receiving the quality of service, The streets are filthy, the dumping, the homeless. I thank God for our officer in charge. They're going to do special attention for Sunshine Daycare. We gave them the hours of operation, and just other locations where our young people are going into preschool, and you have vagrants and homeless that are sleeping across the doors before our children can enter into the schools. So Paterson, I know it's frustrating to watch. My cousin John text me. He said, I got to make it clear that he is not embarrassed by me sitting here. He said he's happy I'm here. And he said, thank you for giving the message. But I want to say this to everyone. I don't mind that you come, because you're coming out of frustration. You're upset. You're not receiving the services that you are paying for. You live here and you deserve better. And so I have no issues with you coming, and you deserve better. I don't know how I would respond if someone was burglarizing my home and the cop didn't show up. I don't know how I would respond. Because I know initially it's shock, and then after that, it's so many other things, and I'm going to leave that there. Because Kamisha, I get it. So, as much as we have done, we can do more, and we are doing it. There's a lot of work that goes on in our committees, and I would love, and I'm putting this challenge to the community, for those sitting and those watching, I would love 100 people to do a shadow a day in Councilwoman Mims' shoes. I want you to come. When I have my committee meetings, I'm going to let you know the day, and I want you to participate. When there's other things going on, I want you to sit. We get our packets on Friday. I'm going to make time on a Saturday so you can sit and you can see the agenda. Because I think it's important, because sometimes we're sitting here and we can hear a whole bunch of stuff, but you don't have this information. And sometimes it's confusing. So I'm putting that challenge. Text me, inbox me, call me, whatever you need to do. But reach out to me. I'm putting that challenge out. And closing, if you have some ideas and or solutions, I heard you, sir, when you gave about the e-commerce and all that, great idea. We need that information, because that is how we get to build our community, because you got to give this information. We have our directors here. We have the mayor is always watching the meetings. You have all these people sitting here. But we need to get ideas from you. Because if it's something that's not happening, give it to us. Say, I have an idea. There's a few people that have given me stuff. I've given it, and we put it in action. And it's happening. So help us help you. We can't help you if you're not saying to us what it is you need. And I know it's frustrating sometimes when you're like, well, I'm telling you, don't raise my taxes. I'm telling you not to do whatever. 2% is mandatory. As long as we continue to get transitional aid, we have no other choice but to increase by 2%. 3%, 4%, 5%, all that, that's a totally different story. But 2% is what we are mandated to do to avoid having heavy increases into the small taxpayer base. And so, if you need me, I'm here. I want to thank everyone that reached out to our family. We lost a family member, very heart-wrenching. In our family, and a lot of the young people, whether they've been a part of my school or other schools that I've been a part of, sometimes I've seen the person that morning or the afternoon. I work in a school where two weeks back to back, there was shootings right outside the door, right an inch from our school, and kids were in the building. So it's scary for everybody. It's not just scary for one group, it's scary for everybody, because all of our lives are hanging in the balance. Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, everyone that's here. I made a comment before about putting safeguards in place, and I'm happy to see tonight that they were wanding and checking pocketbooks. I was happy to see that because times are serious and we can't take anything for granted. So I'm really happy to see that we're taking these matters seriously because we're living in very serious times. With that being stated, Madam Clerk, to close the public portion, my vote is yes.
Councilman Omar.
Let's continue to pray for our city. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Udine.
The sweetest one. Good evening, Paterson, those who are here in the chamber and those who are watching us live. Thank you very much for your participation. When you show up based on any issue or just to educate us what's happening in the city of Paterson or make your voice heard, anyway, whatever reason you show up here, it means that you care about Paterson. So I really appreciate your presence here in this chamber. So many issues were shared or concerned, and we all every day speaking about it. And if I just start with the aspect that police response rate in the city of Paterson, we all have that experience. Anywhere you're in an accident, you're waiting for police to show up 3-4 hours. That's everyday issue in our city. However, the incident was shared that someone was forcibly were trying to get home and harm the occupant. And police is showing up after 4 hours. This is alarming. I am feeling unsafe at my own home. This is exactly the feeling coming right now. So I think we all, and especially Paterson Police Department and the administration, have to find a way that this kind of situation cannot be held like 4 hours, 3 hours, not even 4 minutes. Anything could have happened on the day. And if this is just an example, we don't want to see more examples out there. We are losing our family members for multiple incidents. And here I'd like to share something that happened a few weeks ago at the East Side Park. The young lady was shot during the daytime. I was in the park at Barclay Park with my daughter. I got a phone call from our coach Alfredo that he needs police officers at Pennington Park because he had a game over there and young folks from different schools are playing there. People parked illegally everywhere, and he felt unsafe. So I called police, and I also went there in person. When I just went there, I got a call that there is an incident happened in East Side Park. But think what happened. About 6-7 months ago, we approved 77 cameras, $1 million. And if these cameras were there in presence, then we could have some clips. We could bring the criminals and this is not going to happen because there is no footage available. On the Mother's Day evening, when I'm out with my family, I got a call from another the supervisor from Recreation Department.
I'm sorry. We're in the process of closing the public portion, please. Continue, Councilman, please.
Paulino called me on Mother's Day evening about crying on the phone that she was painting the basketball court in Pennington Park. Someone broke the lock and got inside, and people are playing inside. Think this is exactly what's happening, but we cannot catch anybody because we do not have any proof that who did what not. And we are talking about that your house is unsafe. We are unsafe everywhere. But it's not really, when we're speaking about, it can sound like or smell like it's administration versus council. This is not exactly what our stand for. It's about cooperative action. It's not really speaking against administration. That should not be our stand, and this is not my stand exactly. But administration has to take every single incident happening in this city of Paterson in serious consideration and make sure that nothing is happening in the near future or anytime in the future. That happened to the the resident's house in Third Ward, someone was trying to forcibly got inside the home. How do I know it's not going to happen to me today? How do I know it's not going to happen to you today? The incident happened in Eastside Park. How would you know this is not going to be repeated tomorrow or today? So this kind of seriousness we have to have. I understand this. Everything else we are doing, repaving street, having the parks, it's amazing. It's a great thing, no question. And I appreciate that. But on top of this, I have to be safe with my daughter, myself, with my family in the park. That comes along with it. Just improving the parks is not the only thing can be done. So this is important. I believe that this administration will take these things in seriously and make sure that this implementation should take place as soon as possible. Possible tax hike, there's a budget introduction vote in special section. So I don't want to just spend time on this, but just know this. I am not going to support the tax hike one more time when everything is tightening. I understand this $33 million that we're expecting from the state. All right, then take the floor and speak. If you really want us to speak, then take the mic and speak. Come on.
Council members, just.
If you speak on the background, how am I going to express my voice?
Councilwoman, just please.
So,
Councilman.
when you're talking about the introduction budget, which is 5.6%, I understand exactly the same. This is not a tax adoption. I understand that. But when you're depending totally on $33 million transitional aid, when the state is tightening its own belt, cutting everything under Trump administration, that exactly happened in 2016 in Atlantic City, if you remember that. How would you know this is not going to happen to the city of Paterson? So this is exactly what we are talking about. We should have Plan B ready. Depending on something that Trenton is going to write a check and this is the only thing, no, this is not strong administration. We have to have Plan B ready. If this now would happen, what's the second option? When the mayor called for town hall meeting, and I was really happy. I was really happy because I believe that there would be a plan shared with the city of Paterson. However, at the end of the day, I found out this totally does not make sense. There is no hard number, only dependent on transitional aid, no Plan B. There is not even a second choice that if I would receive $20 million instead of $33 million, what would happen? So again, let's save this topic for the time being come, and I'll really express my voice. But Paterson, you should know that I want to see that no more tax hike, but real plan. Real plan should be in place. Those are here for many reasons. I would say the people from City of Paterson and our neighbor towns speaking about Peruvian Parade. Peruvian Parade, one of the parade that we really enjoy much. And I love to see that Peruvian community, one of the wonderful communities that's celebrating this special momentum together. What makes me very upset that when I or us are the part of the division, that bothers me. We should be part of the unity. We should find a solution. If there is a misunderstanding somewhere in the community, we should be part of this solution. Instead, we take side and play role of this division. That's upset me. One thing just bothers me about it, and I would say even last year I enjoyed this. Before I did 39 years, one of the group mentioned that they celebrated it. Other groups said that started last year. That's not my stand. My stand is, if someone can ask for application, how would I stop giving application to someone? I can deny it afterward that, okay, you are not meeting the requirements. That's another thing. But everyone has right to get an application. So since it was spoken and the paper was given that the application was asked to Dela McCall, the director of community engagement, she has to come here and express that it was exactly happened. We cannot pick and choose the side. This is a beautiful community. I like to see both sides together. Why they have to side this side and that side? Why I have to be part of this division? And this exactly division happen in every single community because of our political empowerment. Some people don't do anything. They divide people. What would happen is, if I don't get this side, I'll get this side. I don't have to work is because I'm part of the division. Wake up, people. This is important. I don't take anything personally. I sit down with Mayor Andesaya very respectfully and very personal relationship as well. He's a wonderful person, no question. But when it comes to the business of the city of Paterson, I have to state what exactly I need to state. It's a business, and people assigned me for this job. So again, the wonderful people right here, don't just listen to us. Use your common sense. Find a way to come together. Once you are together, you are stronger. People like me and myself cannot play game with you. Whether I have to serve you well or I have to leave this seat today. That's exactly what I have to do. Too many things happening in the city of Paterson. Too much drama, too much chaos, too much attention takers. This is exactly what you assigned this job for? So again, Madam Clerk, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. I again would like to see this community coming together. Doesn't matter I have this seat today or not, but one thing I believe that I like to see Paterson is growing. That's exactly my mission, and our mission should be. Thank you, everyone. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Velez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight I'm going to say this. I'm going to say loud and clear. I listened to every word, every concern that was brought at the public portion. I took notes. I will pray over it. And that's all I have to say. My vote is yes to close the public portion.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I had to step out for a minute because I had something going on at my house. But there was a lot of speakers here today. And there's a lot of concerns, especially with the police department. I got a message from someone from the police department about a listening session they're doing again, May 20th. I think it's May 20th. Another listening session is May 22nd, Thursday, in the First Ward, School 28. I just want you to say that so you know, because 6 o'clock. Because with some of the stuff that was said today, it's awful. It's awful. Someone asked about Governor Street. My daughter went to daycare there in 1980. Martha Bowles, greatness came out of that daycare center. And I said to Sunshine, greatness is going to come out of your daycare center. But what I said to her was that I need some men. Sometimes we just can't wait for the police department. I need some men to come with me, to say to them, no, you're not going to hang out around these young kids coming out of school. You're going to have to get up and go somewhere else because they're coming from 12th Avenue. So what I find is that I've lived in my house for 40 years. 20 years ago, I could get neighbors on my block to go to a house, it's 20 of us deep, saying you're not going to do all of that noise all night long. Because there's 20 of us now. Now you really can't get that many, but still, we have to be able to do something. And let me just say sometimes that they need to hear from you. The police department needs to hear from you. The dissatisfaction of not getting the calls, not showing up, they need to hear from you. I went to a program this Saturday past, and I met a young lady from Newark, New Jersey. She was the public safety deputy mayor for the city of Newark under Mayor Ras Barak. And she explained some of the programs that they did. And what they did was they put all the gangs, they brought them all together. The Bloods, the Crips, the Latinos. They brought them all together to try to make them understand, like, what's happening, like, what's going on. Like, why are you after each other like this? Why you're hurting innocent people? So I want to say to all the men out there, if you ready to walk with me, I'm ready to walk. Because we need to, like, make sure that we have to try our best to stay safe. And you know, believe it or not, I did a career day at one of the schools, and I'm not going to say which one. But out of the 15 kids in the class, 2 of them knew who I was. And the reason why they knew who I was because their mother and father was watching this council meeting. And the first thing they said to me is, why everybody cussing all the time? I don't know. I don't know why. They shouldn't be, but they really shouldn't be. And so they're watching us, and believe me, our children are watching us. We have to do ourselves, I think, to adopt kids. Maybe adopt a classroom. We have to adopt. You know, I just did a great venture with Jamie Bland. We took 9 kids to Selma, Alabama. You know, people talking about investing money. I invest my money in my community. I can clearly say, Councilwoman Mims, we put a lot of our money back in our community. Because you try to support activities and events that are doing for the community. That's what you want to do, events and community things for the community. So we have to understand that it takes all of us. And when I was in that classroom, I said to those kids, I said, when you go home, tell me, what do you do? Are you in an after-school program? Are you in a team, basketball or softball or soccer? Are you in a club? We have to, somewhere or another, put our children back into the community with us. And I remember